Welcome back to the Chakra series. We'll be focusing on the Sacral Chakra today, starting in reclined butterfly pose, bringing the soles of your feet to touch and allowing the knees to fall apart. As you can see, I have a yoga block underneath my lower back. This is just to get a slightly deeper stretch in my inner thigh and inner groin, but no need to worry if you don't have one. It's completely fine. So bringing your shoulders down from your ears and maybe placing your hands on your lower belly, just to feel those deep belly breaths. Becoming present on your mat and getting ready for the next 30 to 40 minutes with me. An affirmation you're welcome to use during this class could be I am creative or I am passionate. On your next breath, bring the knees back up to touch. Soles of the feet will be touching the mat, ready to release your legs to the mat. Bringing both arms above the head for a good stretch. And then bringing your right knee into the chest, interlace your fingers and hug it closer to the chest. Breathing deep. Feeling a nice release in your left thigh and your left hip. Releasing the right leg to the mat, swap it out for the left. Hug that left knee into the chest and continue to breathe deep. Feeling a nice release on the right hand side this time, in your right hip and your right thigh. Bring the right leg to meet the left before you place both feet onto the ground. Bring the block and place it in between your thighs. Hugging that block between your thighs, fingertips to touch the heels. Lift up the hips for your bridge pose. Gently roll back down to the mat, and you won't really be needing the block anymore, so you can place that to a side, bringing your knees into your chest, preparing for happy baby. With your two-piece fingers, grab a hold of your big toes, making sure that your lower back is firmly planted into the floor. and your shoulders are away from your ears. Feel free to rock side to side, applying a little bit of pressure with your peace fingers, bringing them down for your hamstrings. Moving through to tabletop position, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Moving through cat-cow, inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine and contract. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round through the spine and contract. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, contract. Last time, inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And exhale, round the spine to contract. Then coming through to your neutral spine, creating a few circles with your hips, just releasing any tension. Moving as wide as you like over to each side, flowing through the movement in the opposite direction. And coming back through to center. In a moment, we'll engage your core and then we'll be lifting your right leg up and behind. Inhale, right leg to rise, just above hip height. Flex the foot. And exhale, bring that right foot to the mat. Inhale to rise. Exhale to the mat. Inhale to rise. Exhale to the mat. Inhale to rise. Exhale. Keeping your leg there. And then bring it to the mat. Bringing your right knee in to join your left. Inhale your left arm to rise and bring it down to thread the needle. If it's comfortable for you, I like to place my right hand just above my head and then take it a little bit over. It's a slightly deeper stretch. Making sure that your hips are in nice alignment. Sometimes we can lean over to the one side. Remember to breathe deep. Coming back through to center, the left arm to rise. And back to the mat. Your right foot back once again, coming into gate pose. Your right comes up and over above the head. On your next breath, let's take it all the way to the opposite side for a side stretch. And then bring both hands back to the mat. Flex the right foot and take that knee just to hip height. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze knee to nose. Inhale to rise. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to rise. Exhale, knee to nose and hold, stepping that right foot forward, tucking the back toes and coming up into a lunge. Allow your hips to be nice and heavy here, keeping your shoulders away from the ears. In good time, straighten the front leg and just fold over that front leg for a nice hamstring stretch. Maybe bringing that back foot forward slightly for a deeper stretch, melting over the front leg. Breathing nice and deep. Generous bend in your front knee, and we'll come back into tabletop position, taking it over to the left-hand side. On your next inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift and hold. Exhale and breathing here. Bringing your left knee in to meet your right. Inhale your right arm to rise and down to thread the needle. Bringing your ear and your cheek onto the mat. And maybe bringing your left hand above your head and fingertip it over to the right for a deeper stretch. Checking in with your hips once again that they're in a nice straight line, and continue to breathe. On your next breath, bring the right arm up and then back to center, coming into gate pose. Lift your left arm up and over the head, and then take it all the way to the opposite side. Right arm comes up and over for a side stretch. Bringing both hands back to the mat, flexing your left foot. Inhale to rise. Exhale, knee to nose. 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 Hold. And then bring your left foot forward, tuck the back toes, and come up into your lunge. Maybe rocking back and forth, getting nice and heavy in your hips. And when you're ready, let's straighten out through the front leg for your pyramid pose and melt over your front leg. Maybe bringing your back foot in just a little bit for a deeper stretch. Breathing deep. Generous bend in your front knee, and we'll come back to our first downward facing dog. Spreading your fingers nice and wide, making sure that both palms are planted firmly into the mat. Creating space in your shoulders, lifting up in the hips, and feel free to pedal out your feet. Next breath, walk your feet forward to the top of the mat. Heel toe your feet around about hip width distance, generous bend in the knees, and we'll all meet in ragdoll pose. Grab each elbow with the opposite hand and sway from side to side. Bringing your hands back to the mat, heel toe the feet in together, generous bend in the knees, and roll up through the spine to protect the lower back. Coming into mountain pose, roll your shoulders down around away from the ears, and bring your fingertips nice and wide once again. Taking deep breaths here in your mountain pose. On your next breath, bring your hands into Heart's Prayer and get ready to come down into chair pose. Big toes to touch, heels apart, and sit back. Inhale to rise, and then on your exhale, bring the left knee to your chest. Keep breathing here and try and get your focus on something that's not moving in front of you to create stability within yourself. Take a look at your right toes and just make sure they're not scrunched up. Staying strong on that right leg, let's take the left leg out to the side, opening up the hip. And bring it back to center. Take that left foot back to warrior two. Check the alignment of your front heel to the middle of the back foot. The front knee is directly over the heel, arms staying strong. On your next breath, come into side angle pose. The left hand comes up and over, keeping the shoulder away from the ears, rotating a little bit, opening up through the chest. Inhale the left hand to the mat. Come up onto your back toes and release the knee to the floor. Untuck the back toes and gently bring the right foot back to meet the left, and we'll all meet in side plank. Right arm to rise. And if you'd like a challenge here today, feel free to come into a tree pose side plank, bringing the right toes just above or below the knee. Bringing the right hand back to the mat, bringing the right foot forward for a low lunge. Place your knee on the floor, untuck the left toes, and we'll come into a quad stretch. Reaching your right hand back to the left foot and getting nice and heavy in the hips. Release your left foot now and move back through to your downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here and move through to your plank. Chaturanga. Inhale through to up dog and exhale, push back into your downward facing dog. Walking to the top of the mat. We'll all meet in ragdoll pose, grabbing your elbows with your hands and swaying side to side. Bringing the feet back together, inhale to rise and exhale to your chair pose. Big toes to touch, heels apart, and sitting back in your seat. On your next inhale, let's all bring our hands to Heart's Prayer. And on your exhale, we'll rise. Bringing your right knee into your chest. Remembering to find that one spot that keeps you nice and still. Breathing deep for stability. Checking your left toes. If they're scrunched up, just lift them up and place them back on the mat. On your next breath, let's bring that right knee out to the side, opening up the hip. Back through to center to bring that right foot back to warrior two. Ensuring the front knee is directly above the heel. Staying strong in the arms. You want to feel like you've got a pencil in between your shoulder blades. Coming into side ankle pose, take your right arm up and over. Slight rotation in that right shoulder to keep your chest open. And breathe. Bringing the right hand back to the mat, coming up onto the back toes. Drop that knee to the ground, untuck the toes, and bring your left foot to meet the right. Coming into side plank, take that left arm up. And then if you'd like a challenge, bring the left toes just above or below your knee for tree pose in your side plank. Bring the left hand back to the mat, legs stay as they are. And bring the left foot forward. Grounding the back knee, untucking the toes. We'll come forward for your quad stretch on the right hand side. Melting your hips and taking your eye gaze to the back of the mat. Releasing that foot, coming up onto the back toes and back through to your downward facing dog. Inhale to plank, exhale chaturanga, inhale through to up dog and exhale to your downward facing dog. Next inhale, lift the right leg up into three-legged dog and open up through your hip. Concentrating on your sacral chakra, let's take some big, bold hip circles. Bringing the right foot in between your hands, grounding through the back heel and coming up into warrior two. Flip your front palm and come into your reverse warrior. Good. On your next breath, come forward, heel toe the back foot in once or twice, arms come out, and we'll dip down into triangle. Stacking the shoulders, opening up through your chest. Imagining you're in between two planes of glass. Bending generously into the front knee and coming up into half moon pose. Once again, stacking the shoulders and opening the hip, pointing through your left toes. Bringing the left foot down to meet the right and coming into your ragdoll pose once again. Releasing anything in your legs before we take a vinyasa. Hands come to the mat. Hop back into plank. Inhale. Exhale chaturanga. Inhale through to up dog. And exhale, push back into your downward facing dog. Taking it over to the left hand side, inhale the left foot to rise, three-legged dog. And exhale, open up the hip. Once again, taking those big, bold hip circles. Before bringing that left foot forward in between your hands, grounding through the back heel and coming up into your warrior two. Staying strong in your legs and arms. Before we flip the front palm and come into reverse warrior. Coming forward, straighten the front leg and maybe bring your back foot in once or twice. Coming into triangle pose. stacking the shoulders, opening the chest, and if it's comfortable for you, taking your eye gaze to the top fingertips. Looking to the mat, generous bend in that front knee, coming up into your half moon pose. Once again, the shoulders are stacked, the chest is open, and you're pointing through your right feet, opening up that hip. Perfect. The right foot comes down to meet the left. And let's meet in ragdoll. Both hands come to your shins. Before we place them onto the mat, hop back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale through to up dog. And exhale, push back into your downward facing dog. Bring your knees down to the mat, coming into tabletop position. Connect your big toes and allow your knees to fall to either side of the mat. We're going to melt forward into a wide leg child's pose here. So feel free to bring your forehead onto the mat. You can even create a pillow with your hands if it doesn't quite reach. Or you can place your chin on the mat. It's completely up to you, it's your practice wherever you are today. Just make sure that you're still sitting back on your heels. You want to feel this in your hips. Taking deep belly breaths. We'll be on closer to the ground for the rest of the practice, slowing things down. Slowly coming up, we'll lie on our left-hand side, create a pillow with your hand for your head, stacking the right hip above the left, connecting your knees and your feet. We'll inhale up to clamshell and exhale down. Perfect. We'll continue this for 10. Straightening your top leg now. Flex the foot. And exhale to lower, inhale to rise. We'll do 10 of these as well. Keeping your foot flexed, let's go 10 circles forward and 10 circles back. As you can tell by that smile, I feel the burn. Then moving on to your back now. We'll come into reclined pigeon. Bringing your right foot on top of your left knee and bringing that knee into the chest. Keeping the right foot flexed and relaxing the left foot. Ground in the left foot, keeping the placement of your right foot. You're just going to bring that to the ground as well. This will be a nice IT band stretch. Gently come back through to center, release the feet, and we'll take it over to the other side. Coming onto your right hand side, creating a pillow with your hand for your head. Stack your left knee above the right, knees and toes. Inhale, lift your knee for clamshell. And exhale to lower. Let's go for 10. Straightening the top leg, flexing the foot. Inhale to rise, exhale lower. Let's go for 10 again. Back to those 10 forward circles and 10 backwards. And then coming onto your back for reclined pigeon pose on the opposite side. Your left foot comes to the right knee, nice and flexed, and bring that right knee into your chest. Grounding the right foot, keeping the left exactly where it is. Just allow the left foot to fall to the ground. We'll go to your IT band stretch on the opposite side. Coming back through to center, releasing the feet. Hugging the knees into the chest. With your peace fingers, grab your big toes once again for your happy baby, and feel free to sway from side to side. This is a lovely juicy one for your hamstrings. When you rock to either side, if you'd like, you can bring each leg out. If you come to the right hand side, bring that right leg out nice and straight. When you go over to the left, take the left out nice and straight. Come back through to center, big stretch. Before we come into your final pose, Shavasana. Allowing the feet to fall to either side, palms facing the ceiling, shoulders away from the ears. Feeling grateful for the flow, for our sacral chakra. Taking the attention to your face, relaxing your forehead, your cheeks, your jaw. Taking your attention to the upper body, relaxing your arms, your chest. Taking your attention to the lower body, your legs, feet and glutes. Admiring your body for allowing you to flow today. Bring some movement back into your toes and your fingers, circling your wrists and your feet. Taking that big stretch above your head, knees into your chest for a nice big hug. Taking that over to the side, creating a pillow with your hands for your head. And when you're ready, we'll come to a seated position. Hands to heart's prayer. Namaste.